Hi, I'm Nora, the host of Scrambled, and I would like to introduce a very exciting episode. I'm joined here with
Chris Garrison.
And he is an amazing person. He is a person, and he went to the Hunger Games. And so he had an interesting experience, and I feel like many of you would like to follow in his footsteps. I'm joined by Blake Lyon, who is a fellow filmmaker, and he recently made a film that he is submitting to colleges. So it's very interesting to see how these filmmakers go from young, youthful individuals to elderly Hunger Game movie makers. So I hope you enjoy this episode. So I'm joined here today with my good friend and fellow filmmaker, Blake. Blake, can you introduce yourself?
I am Blake Lyon. I'm 18. I go to Jesuit High School, and I want to be a filmmaker.
So you want to be a filmmaker, but what part of filmmaking? Because there are so many parts. There's the sound, the cinematography, the lighting.
So many.
The caterer. Is that what you want to do?
I want to be the caterer.
Yeah.
I've been working in film, catering. If I can make it, I want to be one of like the big three. I either want to be a writer, a director, or a cinematographer.
Or all three?
All three. I'll do all of them. Yeah, I'm open to any of them. My passion started as writing, and then it grew into directing, just to kind of encapsulate the whole story. And I've like I just love cameras. So I'm open to all three, whatever one kind of I make it through. I guess I'll take. But I really want to be a director, and also I would write my own films.
So how have you kind of learned the ways of filmmaking? Because it's not something that's really taught in school. You don't really learn it at home.
You just kind of have to do it on your own. It's a thing that you don't really, like you said, you don't really learn it at school. It's kind of almost like street smarts thing.
Do you think it's hard to find like filmmaking stuff up in Northern California?
Yeah, Sacramento kind of sucks for the filmmaking people, just because it's hard to find actors. Like with this last film I made, it was really, really hard to find actors. Thank God you were there to hook me up. But yeah, it's hard to find actors. If you don't have like a lot of resources, it's hard to find film equipment. Film in general is like an expensive thing. So Sacramento just having like no studios you can rent from makes it even harder.
Are you into acting?
Kind of. I actually acted with you one time back at San Francisco. Their film. What was it? Film.
It was a pretty excellent acting debut, if I say so myself.
Thank you.
What was it? It was. I think it was Let's Get Twisted. That was
San Francisco Film Camp. It was awesome.
Yeah, and you must have learned a lot because
yeah.
You are now a senior, right?
Yeah.
So that means film school, college.
I hope so. Yeah. So I'll be applying to film school this coming, or I guess really soon, in the next 2 months. Yeah.
Is there a plan B?
Plan B. Well, plan A right now is to get into kind of the film schools that have also other degrees. So my tops right now are like NYU or also Chapman or LMU. Those are kind of the big three.
Those are my top two.
No way.
No way.
But yeah, if I don't get into those, then kind of my plan B would just be straight
just
film
working
school,
the streets.
Working the streets.
Your video camera.
Yeah, then hopefully I'll make it to the top.
Pay me. Yeah.
One day.
That'll work.
Yeah,
I would do that.
Taking a break from amateur film, I'm Chris Garrison with a review of the new Hunger Games movie Catching Fire, which premiered last night on November 21st. Now, let me walk you through my movie-going experience. So I went with a group of friends to the 8:30 premiere, and we dressed up as characters from Harry Potter beforehand because we didn't have Hunger Games costumes, so I was Ron Weasley. And we also showed up a little late because we went to get coffee before, but when we were walking into the line, we approached in our Harry Potter costumes, eager for acceptance by all the Hunger Games superfans, and we were spurned brutally. There was a group of them reading Hunger Games books right outside the theater, eagerly awaiting the premiere, and one of them turned to me and said, "Are you here for the Hunger Games movie?" And I said, "Yes, can't you tell?" And she said, "No," and glared at us and made us feel very uncomfortable, and I wept inside. And then we walked into the theater, and seats were already filled, so we had to go sit in the front row, which is an awful experience, akin to... I'll just forget that. But the entire time we were sprawled like this. Let me demonstrate. Looking up at the screen, you couldn't see a thing. There would be bright flashes of light that would trigger brief epileptic fits. And I can't remember much of the film, but I'll tell you what I know. There's a girl, I've also never read the book, let me add that, but there's a girl named Katniss, and she's hunting and has a PTSD experience, which apparently wasn't in the book, but I digress. And so she goes through, you know the story probably, but it gets very violent. There's lots of fast action, which was not fun sitting in the front row because you can't see a thing. It just blurs. And at one point, the actors all looked like witches just because of the angle we were looking at them, and everything was enormous. And the cinematography was great, lots of colors. It was actually really interesting. But I felt like the movie was a little rushed pace-wise, but I don't know if that was the way it was in the book, and if I should be directing my anger at the author rather than the filmmaker. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Afterwards, my back ached and my neck hurt, and I wanted to die. The end.
So you had to make a film then if you're going to apply for college.
Yeah, so my film that I made was called Rust Within Olympus.
So Rust Within Olympus, what's that about?
It's based on my, just how I have lived with narcissism in my life. And then so how I've seen narcissism is put into this explorer. And so this explorer, he's always been obsessed with this mystical place ever since he was young. As he grows older, he gets more and more obsessed with it. He ends up bringing other people into his, into kind of his obsession. They like join along with him. He ends up getting money, or kind of almost taking the money. Then he goes on this expedition. And then while he's on this expedition, the people who joined along with him, he ends up betraying and killing just because he's so obsessed with it. He doesn't care.
He kills them.
In a way. Yeah, kind of.
You don't want to spoil the ending.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a surprise.
So yeah, he kills them just to get to his ultimate goal of getting to this perfect place, which in the end he ends up not getting to, because since he left these people who were with him, he ends up getting killed because of it.
So Blake, let's talk your actors.
I used one of your own. So I used Brendan, who is kind of my narrator, and then Dylan, who is my main character. He's a narcissist in the story. And then I also use Alex. He's kind of the one of the people on the expedition who goes with them. And so, yeah.
How was their acting? Let's go over each character. How was Brendan's acting?
Brendan was amazing. Thank God. Oh, by the way, my entire film is in Spanish. And so
why is it in Spanish? That has always confused me. What made you think this needs to be in Spanish?
I made it entirely in Spanish to make you think differently, to make it seem that the narcissist who the poem's about thinks in a different way that we do.
Very interesting. Okay, so how was Alexander Bear's acting?
He was stunning on the set. Yeah, he's really good. I didn't know him, but he fit the part perfectly. He pulled it off. Sadly, he's the one that dies in the film. But yeah, seriously, he was perfect. He was a little bit younger than or he looked a little bit younger than I kind of imagined it, but his acting was awesome.
And how was Dylan's
Just Dylan.
Just Dylan.
Just Dylan. He was also amazing. He was seriously perfect for the part.
How was his Spanish?
It was great. You'll see it. He couldn't really memorize it too well, but it's okay. It worked in the end. I probably should have had them memorize it earlier. It's another thing that I learned from this. Tell them to memorize the lines earlier. But he was great. His Spanish was pretty good, especially for a non-fluent man like himself.
Yeah.
He was perfect because he's so tall that he kind of dominates anyone else in the scene.
Yeah, he fits the frame.
Giant role.
Just cuts off his head
Yeah,
in the frame.
exactly. So he really portrays the narcissist well just because his height, kind of.
Is it just his height?
And his acting. he's a great actor.
Or is it just acting? So you made this a Spanish film. Have you thought about trying to enter it into any film festivals under some sort of foreign category, or?
I don't know if it, I don't know what like the rules are behind a foreign film.
It doesn't have to be foreign. Do you want to put it in a festival?
Yeah, definitely. First, I'm gonna put it into my applications for film school, and then second, I'm going to put it in some film festivals, see what happens with that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool if I win some awards. I'd be really happy.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I know. Be sweet.
Make for a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, Blake.
Thank you.
Earlier in this episode, you probably saw Blake Lyon interviewed, and he directed the film Rust Within Olympus, which is an abstract, all Spanish, kind of a metaphor film for narcissism. And the locations were okay. The filming, the cinematography was good. It was good, but I think the acting is really where it's shown brightest. Especially one particular actor, the main character actually. And I guess when it comes to Oscar eligibility, main actor, like best actor, best performance would be the only place that could really have a chance come Oscar season, come next spring. But it's tough in Tinseltown, and you got to hope for one Oscar, and best actor would be it for the main character. So great movie, great actor, and I'd give that actor a 10 out of 10. I don't know what I'd give the movie, but obviously that doesn't matter too much anymore. I'm the main actor. That's me, Dylan McElligott.
Do you want to see Rust Within Olympus, Mr. Chris?
Oh, absolutely. I'll pay every dollar I have for it.
So you hear that, fellow Blake Lyon fans. This man will spend every dollar to see this film.
Every single dollar.
Yeah. So I'd like to thank Blake for coming on the show today. His appearance was much appreciated. Dylan did an astounding review of himself in the film Rust Within Olympus. And Chris, I am happy you went to go and see The Hunger Games. And
I don't know if happy is the word for my emotions, but pained, confused,
committed, dedicated,
depressed.
A true fan. So we hope to see you next time on Scrambled, and stay classy, Davis.